Have this feeling, haven't felt for so long. Took a hold on me and won't let go. I've been sleeping, caught me off my guard. Cause you're in my space and now I'm so.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all okay. So in today's video we're going to be talking about Netflix shows. I've got so many Netflix recommendations that I've got in my notes that I've been writing down for so long, and now it's got to around 30 shows, and I thought I'd best sit down and share them with you. Excuse the background, by the way. I've had a bit of a nightmare. The sun, when it's going down, it's like around 7 o'clock and I just can't get any decent light at the minute. It's been a nightmare, so I'm just sat here with a random play kitchen in the background, but you know. So let's talk Netflix shows. These are in no particular order, it's just how I've written them down. The first show is Lucifer. Oh my god, this show is amazing. I love it. There's 5 seasons, but I think Netflix only bought it out on season 4, so I think 4 and 5 are on Netflix, but to watch them all I think you'll have to go back to Amazon because Amazon had it before them. So I'm guessing season 1 to 3 are still on Amazon, and then 4 and 5 are on Netflix, and then 6 is coming out in September, and I can't wait. It's going to be the final season, which I'm really sad about, but I can't wait. It's funny, it's got like detective stuff in there which I really like. It's really good. I mean, Lucifer, you can maybe guess what it's about. It's very tongue-in-cheek though as well, but it's just amazing. Definitely check that out. Right, the next one is Crash Landing on You. Now this is a K-drama, Korean drama. This is the first like K-drama I've ever watched, but I saw it and I thought, you know what, this looks really good, so I started watching it. I think I've only watched 2 episodes. There's only 1 season. I don't know if there's going to be any more. It is subtitled. I can't see, when you Google it, it says that you can get like English dubbed, but I can't seem to get English dubbed. I can, like, you can get Spanish and there's a few others, but I can't seem to get English dubbed, so it is subtitles, and if you're not used to reading subtitles, it is quite difficult like to keep up and stuff, but it's definitely worth it. It's really good. It's basic overview. It's about this young lady and she's quite well-to-do and her family's got quite a lot of money. They live in South Korea, and the day before I think she takes over her family's like empire type thing, she goes up in, like, she goes, what's it called, where you go up, like, it's not skydiving, where you go up and you kind of float around. What's it called? Is it paragliding? Is that where it is? Hang on, I've got it. Paragliding. Anyway, she goes paragliding, but then there's like a massive hurricane type thing. She ends up getting blown like miles and miles out, and she ends up actually in a tree somewhere. When she comes around, she's actually like gone over the border and she's in North Korea, and there's like a North Korean army guy stood there like that. It's really good. Next one, me and David have recently just finished, and it's MARCELLA. Now there's 3 seasons. I think there's 2 on Netflix, and then we found the final season on BritBox. She's a detective. It's Anna Friel that plays MARCELLA, but there's all different kind of stuff going on. She has these blackouts and she doesn't know what she does in these blackouts. She gets violent, and yeah, it's just really good. I definitely recommend. Of course I recommend these things. I'm saying it's I bet I need to stop saying that, don't I? Designated Survivor, another amazing show. There's 3 seasons and they have like, well, the first one has 21 episodes, so there's quite a lot to get into. Kiefer Sutherland, who's an independent, ends up being president. I think there's a terrorist attack and like a lot of the government end up like dying in this terrorist attack. He ends up being appointed the president. Anyway, yeah, we really enjoyed that. I don't know if there's going to be any more seasons. I don't think there is, but Line of Duty. Now if you're from the UK and you've not heard Line of Duty, where have you been? Like, me and David have watched this like from the start, and I think it's this last season, it seemed to be like it got so popular and everybody watched it and were talking about it. I'm sure all the other seasons never got this much hype, So yeah, and if you have heard of it, you'll know that the ending is not amazing. The endings of the other seasons of Line of Duty have been better than the actual finale, but don't let that put you off, because all of it is just so good. The next one is called Safe, and this is like, I think it's London based, and it's about like a family. They've got a lot of money and they live in like a gated community, and just things happen, and it's just really good. I think this next one is the same producer or director, and it's called The Stranger. Now this is about a stranger that goes up to the husband, like there's a man and a wife, and goes up to the husband and says something about the wife, I'll not say what, and that he didn't know about, and it all just escalates from there. The next one, you've probably heard of this, you'll definitely have heard of this, you've probably seen it, it was a lockdown favourite, and it's Tiger King. I really enjoyed it. You just can't believe that it were real, but obviously it was real. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It went until I think I'd finished watching it and I thought, wow, yeah, but it's really good. I don't think it needs any explanation because you've probably seen it, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Go watch it. Gotham, amazing. Again, this is a show that me and David have been watching for a long time, and it's basically, it's obviously Gotham, Batman, but it's about Batman when he was younger. So I think it started like just after his parents got killed, and then him leading up to being Batman, and like there's Catwoman in it but as a kid, and Poison Ivy, and then there's Penguin, and there's all the characters in it, but like Bruce Wayne and whatnot, it was before he was Batman. There's Commissioner Gordon, and yeah, it's so good. And then there's another DC, which is Jessica Jones. Now there's a few DC ones on Netflix that are really good, but I picked out Jessica Jones because I just think she's amazing. She kicks ass. She's great. It's just, you know, a DC series and it's great. There's Luke Cage as well. That's really good. How to Get Away with Murder. Now me and David was obsessed with this show. We were quite late to the party. It's only been the last couple of months that we've finished watching it. It's been out quite a few years, I think. Amazing. When we finished watching it, this was the only show that I said I could quite easily go back and rewatch it all again. I thought it was that good. I was absolutely gutted when it finished, and the ending was just amazing. I hate the ending of shows because they tend to either the main character ends up getting killed. It's never a happily ever after, and I'm not saying How to Get Away with Murder is a happily ever after because it's not really, but then some bits are, and obviously I'm not going to go into it, but the way that they did it, and honestly the ending was like, I've never seen an ending like that before in any show, and I just thought it topped it off really good. The next one is Blacklist. Have we finished? I'm sure we finished watching this. This is a show that we've watched a long time ago, and it is amazing. It's about a guy, and he was on the most wanted list for years and years, and then he ends up working for like the police. I don't know if it's the FBI, but he's still kind of like most wanted to everybody else. He's doing it undercover, but there's so much more to it. Like there's a female detective, and he'll only speak in the beginning, he'll only speak to this detective, trying to work out like what the connection is there. And yeah, really good. We've got Ozark now. We're actually in the middle of watching the 3rd season of this. We're watching it now, and it's just really good. I think there's going to be a 4th and final season of that I Google, because every time I watch a show, does anybody else do this? You watch a Netflix show and you're really enjoying it, you then Google, but you have to be careful you don't get any spoilers, but you're wanting to Google like the cast, and then you're wanting to Google if there's going to be any more seasons or what have you. I do that all the time, and there's going to be a 4th and final season of Ozark, and it's just really good. It's about this couple, and it's about laundering money, and they buy this casino. It's just really good. I'm making it sound not very good, but it is really good. Next, Criminal UK. This has got 2 seasons, and it's basically, there's been a crime, and it's really different because you don't leave the interrogation room. You're only ever in the police station, in the room and in the corridor of the show. That is it. You don't see anything else. Obviously it doesn't go outside, and it is just a crime's been committed and the detectives are trying to work it out and they're interviewing this, like, a person. It's all just around in just one room, and I just thought that was so different, and it sounds really like boring, but it's not. It's really good, and how they've done it is really good. Now I've got this on my list and I've not actually seen it, but everybody raves about it and David loves it, and it's Peaky Blinders. He's watched this without me. I don't know how he's watched it without me. I think it was when I was doing nights. I don't know, but anyway, I've not watched it and he has, and he thinks it's really good. And I really need to watch it. Peaky Blinders, I don't even know what it's about. Is it about gangsters in the 1920s or 30s? Apparently, I only found out the other day, it's based in Birmingham, and that's why when I went to Birmingham with my mum and the girls the other week, I saw a pub and it was called Peaky Blinders, and it had like a painting and stuff at the front. And I wondered why. I thought that was a bit random. Because it was filmed there or based there or whatever. Breaking Bad. Yeah, this has got like a cult following. Is that what it's called? A cult following? Like, people are obsessed with this. There's like 1 million seasons and a lot of episodes. It's about Walter White, and he's a head teacher, no, like a university professor, something like that, and he ends up cooking meth. Yeah, and it's just absolutely crazy and brutal. Really good. It starts off quite slow. I remember it starting really slow. Everybody says just give it time. Like, the first season is a bit slow, and it were a little bit slow, but it definitely picked up, and it's really, really good. Next, Orange is the New Black. This is another one, you know, you've probably heard of that. It's one of the Netflix shows that's really talked about and stuff, and it's about women's prison. It's based on a true story. I think it's obviously not all true, like not everything is true in it, but it's just based along the lines of a true story. The Vampire Diaries. Right, it's basically about two brothers, the vampires. They've like lived forever, and then they end up going to a high school and they meet a girl, and it's just really, really good. And I'm rubbish at explaining it, and I don't even know how to explain it because there's that many seasons and that much goes on. It's good. And then there's a spin-off show of Vampire Diaries called The Originals, and it is actually better than Vampire Diaries. This is based around Klaus that was in the Vampire Diaries. Like, The Originals is amazing. I can't even describe it. It's just so good. You need to watch it. Go watch The Originals. The next one is You. This is fab. It's about a man. Oh, right, okay. I'm not gonna say because I wouldn't want to give too much away, because this storyline is so good. I think there's gonna be is there gonna be another one coming out soon? Something's telling me that there is. I hope there is. But this story, oh, it's just fab. I don't know how to say it without giving too much away. If you've not seen or heard about it, definitely go watch a trailer. But it's about a man and he meets a woman. He gets a bit obsessed. I don't want to give it away, so I won't. I'll not say any more. Go check it out. The trailers on these shows will be so much better than what I'm saying here. I'm going to edit this back and be like, what are you doing? Right, so Orphan Black. This show it's so good. I think it starts, I don't want to say too much. I just said something and then I'm going to cut it out because I think I gave too much away. I'm sure it starts where, like, the main character, she's either at a train station, it's been so long since I've watched the very first season, or she sees CCTV footage of a train station and she sees a woman that looks exactly the same as her, like her double, and it all just escalates from there. The next one is The Sinner. We saw this because it had somebody in it from another show that we really liked that I've not put down on here because I think they've took it off Netflix, which is White Collar, which is a really good show, and I can't remember the guy's name in it, but we really like him. So we saw that he was in this and we started watching it, and I think there's 3 seasons to it, but they're all kind of different. They have the same detective guy in it, but they're different each season, and I think he's in like the 3rd one. The first season is about a woman and she goes to the beach with her husband and she just gets up and stabs a man, like, repeatedly, and the story goes from there. There's like 2 other seasons of something that goes on, and then they try and work out why and what happened. iZombie. I need to go back and I need to have a look to see what we've actually watched of this, because I'm sure there might be a season or two that we've not watched. This is quite tongue-in-cheek. It's about a woman, I think she gets bit at this like party on a boat and she turns into a zombie, but she's just like, she lives in a normal real life, and she works in like a morgue. Yeah, and there's like murders and stuff that go on, and she's a zombie. It's really good. Bodyguard. This is about the UK, the Home Secretary. Right, there's only one season and there's 6 episodes, and it is like government Home Secretary based, and it's really good. I recommend it because it's like there's only a few episodes. I don't really want to go into it because it's just like, but it's a really good plot. It is really good. Right, the next one is Sherlock. It's got three seasons in it, and I think they're like an hour long or an hour and a half. They're an hour and a half long, so it's like you're near enough watching film every time you watch an episode. And it's got Benedict I can't say his name. Benedict Cumberbatch. Benedict Cumberbatch. It's got him in it. Martin Freeman. Yeah, he's Watson. Martin Freeman's Watson, and it's just about Sherlock, and it's so good. Also, I'll just throw one in there. I don't think it's on Netflix. I think we watched it on Now TV. I don't know if it's still on there, but Elementary, that is really good. That's basically about, it's Sherlock again, but Watson is a woman, and yeah, it's really good, and it's based in America. The next one is Collateral. Now when you type it in, a movie comes up, I think with Tom Cruise in it, but it's not that. Yeah, it's about a detective thing, and it is so good. Just 1 season, 4 episodes. We found it really interesting. The next one is another one that I haven't actually seen, but the girls have seen it, and I did ask them about it because I was going to start watching it. They said it's really good. It's called OUTERBANKS. Everybody talks about it. It's always on the recommended thing, and I'm putting that in here just in case you've not recognised it. It is meant to be really good, but like I say, I've not seen it, but it's definitely worth checking out. I will be watching it at some point. And the last 2, Sons of Anarchy. Now this is David's all-time favourite. He compares every single show to Sons of Anarchy. It's about American bikers and all the crime things, what they get up to. It's quite brutal. It's one of them shows where, you know, when like there's something going on and you think that no, they won't do that, they won't, and on this show they do. If you don't like anything too brutal, probably don't watch it, but the storyline is amazing. Last but not least, this is the last show that we watched, and it is called Behind Her Eyes, and yeah, it is really good. And wow, the ending is not what you'd expect at all. You would never guess it in a million years. Well, we didn't guess it. Yeah, we've watched enough shows now to we guess quite a few things, but this, it never even entered our head. And it went like, we were like, oh my god, wow. But yeah, it's really good. Behind Her Eyes. And that's it. I really hope it's helped you in some way. You know, if you're stuck with things to watch or you need a few more ideas, I hope I've given you some ideas that you've not heard of or you've not thought of watching. Like, they all are really worth watching. So, thank you so much for watching. God. Thank you for watching. If you've got any recommendations, please put them below, because like I say, we're struggling at the minute and it'd be really appreciated. And please subscribe if you're not already, it does mean a lot, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.